What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you love classic cars, rare finds, and the golden era of American design, make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and let's dive into one of the most beautiful, underrated, and ahead of its time American automobiles, the 1941 Studebaker Champion two-door coupe. Now, before we get into the deep details, picture this, it's 1941. The world is on edge, the US is right on the brink of joining World War II, and the American automotive industry is thriving like never before. Detroit's big names, Ford, Chevrolet, Chrysler, are pumping out cars that define what it means to be American. But out in South Bend, Indiana, there's a smaller company doing something different. That company is Studebaker, and in 1941 they produced a car that didn't just compete, it innovated, it surprised, and it stood out from the crowd. The 1941 Studebaker Champion two-door coupe wasn't just another pre-war car, it was a statement of efficiency, aerodynamics, and elegant design. When you first lay eyes on it, you realize this car didn't follow trends, it set them. With its sweeping fenders, split front grille, and that sleek flowing roofline, the Champion coupe looks almost like it's moving even when it's standing still. It's got that graceful art-deco vibe that feels like it came out of an aircraft design sketch. The heart of the Studebaker Champion was its six-cylinder engine, an inline flathead six that produced around 78 horsepower. Now, that might not sound like much by today's standards, but back in the early 1940s, that was a solid performer, especially when you consider how lightweight and efficient the Champion was. Studebaker's engineers were obsessed with making a car that didn't just look good, but delivered on performance and fuel economy. In fact, this was one of the most fuel-efficient cars of its time, managing over 27 miles per gallon, which was practically unheard of back then. The Champion was designed for the everyman, a car for families, for business travelers, and for those who wanted the comfort and quality of a big luxury car without the big price tag or the high fuel bills. Studebaker's slogan back then was "First by far with a post-war car," and even before the war, you could see that forward-thinking spirit in every inch of the Champion's design. Now, the two-door coupe version specifically has become one of the most collectible today, and for good reason. It has that perfect balance of proportion, elegance, and simplicity. The long hood, the short rear deck, the gentle curve of the fenders, everything flows together beautifully. And when you get behind the wheel, the first thing you notice is how comfortable it is. Studebaker interiors were always top-notch. The dashboard is simple but classy, with large, easy-to-read gauges, a beautifully symmetrical design, and chrome accents that give it that unmistakable vintage charm. Imagine yourself cruising down a quiet road in 1941 with the windows down, the hum of that straight six engine echoing through the countryside. Gas was cheap, roads were open, and life, at least for a brief moment before the war, felt free and full of promise. That's what the Studebaker Champion represents, a snapshot of a hopeful America, right before everything changed. And here's something a lot of people don't realize. The 1941 model year was the last full year of civilian automobile production before the war shut down the industry. In 1942, car production in the US shifted almost entirely to military use. So the 1941 Champion is literally one of the final peacetime cars before that historic transformation. That alone gives it tremendous significance for collectors. Studebaker built around 94,000 Champions in 1941, but only a fraction were the two-door coupes. Many were sedans or four doors, which means that finding a coupe today in good condition is like discovering a rare time capsule. And when you do, it's not just a car, it's history on wheels. Let's talk about the driving experience for a second, because that's where Studebaker truly shines. The suspension setup was simple but remarkably smooth. The steering was light, the clutch easy to engage, and that transmission, usually a 3-speed manual, had a mechanical honesty to it. It made you feel connected to the road. There was no power steering, no automatic transmission, no electronic assists, just pure mechanical interaction. And that's what makes driving one today so special. It reminds you of how raw and real the driving experience used to be. Collectors and restorers love the 41 Champion because it's straightforward to maintain. The flathead 6 is bulletproof if you take care of it, and parts are still out there thanks to the dedicated Studebaker community. And let's be honest, when you pull up to a car show with one of these, people notice. It's not a Ford, not a Chevy, not a Plymouth. It's a Studebaker. It's something different, something with soul. The design team behind the 41 Champion was led by Raymond Loewy's studio. Yes, the same Raymond Loewy who later became famous for designing the Coca-Cola bottle, the Shell logo, and even NASA interiors. That's right, one of the most legendary industrial designers in American history helped shape this car. His influence is clear. The smooth lines, the minimal ornamentation, the balance of form and function. Loewy believed a car should be beautiful but purposeful, and the Champion embodies that philosophy perfectly. Fast forward to today, and the 1941 Studebaker Champion 2 door coupe has become a hidden gem in the collector world. While Fords and Chevys from the same era often command higher prices, the Champion offers something those don't: uniqueness and sophistication. Depending on condition, you can find a well-restored example fetching anywhere from $25,000 to over $60,000, and the top quality concours models, they can go even higher. But the real value isn't just in the price tag, it's in what the car represents. It's a piece of pre-war Americana, a symbol of craftsmanship, resilience, and optimism. The Champion didn't just survive history, it defined a moment in it. And here's something truly fascinating. When production resumed after World War II, the post-war Studebakers looked radically different from anything else on the road. They had that famous bullet nose front end, that futuristic style. And the reason Studebaker was able to do that so quickly was because of the innovative groundwork laid by models like the 41 Champion. It set the stage for the brand's golden years. So when you see a 1941 Studebaker Champion 2 door coupe, whether it's parked at a classic car meet, gliding down the highway, or sitting in someone's private collection, you're not just looking at a car, you're looking at the spirit of American innovation from a company that dared to dream differently. There's something about Studebaker that just feels personal. It's the underdog story. It's the company that built wagons before cars, survived a Great Depression, helped win a world war, and still came back to build some of the most iconic designs in automotive history. The Champion in particular feels like a promise of progress, style, and ingenuity. So next time you spot one of these beautiful coupes, take a moment to appreciate it. The curved glass, the chrome accents, the sound of that engine turning over. It's not just nostalgia, it's mechanical poetry. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1941 Studebaker Champion, hit that like button, share it with a friend who loves classic cars, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more stories like this, because every week we uncover another legend from the golden age of motoring. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll catch you in the next one, where we keep celebrating the cars that changed the world, one story at a time.